This is Daily Devotions with Dead People, Her Theology's Takeover Advent series, where saints from centuries past still speak to us today. They are going to prepare our hearts for Jesus this Christmas season. Let's go. Okay, welcome to day 2 of our Christmas Advent together. And I hope you enjoyed day 1. We heard from John Calvin, and today we are going to hear from Athanasius, which, mind you, I think is a epic name. Like, why is no one calling their kids Athanasius? I don't know. I just think it's pretty cool. Total side note. We don't know his exact birth date for Athanasius, but I can tell you he was alive around 1700 years ago. That's right, you just heard that. He was post-Christ, but only by 300 years, which I know 300 years is still a long time, but, you know, he's pretty close to Christ. And Athanasius was a theologian, a church leader, and you may have heard of the Council of Nicaea, you know, when a bunch of Christian leaders came together under Constantine and they kind of arrived and agreed on what the core foundational truths are of the Christian faith. Well, he was a pretty big deal in all that. He was kind of a key component of it. And so that's why he's pretty well known, and that's why we're going to hear from him today. Given all that, I thought it was really interesting. I read on one website, it said, let me read it out. If he had lived in the 21st century instead of the 4th, we would call him an influencer, maybe chief influencer. So let's hear from the chief influencer of the 4th century. So this excerpt on the Incarnation, it came from his book, so his original writings, where he did a write-up about on the Incarnation of Christ. It completely spun me out. He's fleshing it out, and this is just a very small slice out of his original work taken. So I highly recommend, and I will link it in the episode notes, going and finding his real stuff, not just one little bit pulled out. But this blew my mind as I was thinking about the Incarnation of Christ, because the Incarnation of Christ is a doctrine that we actually should study, and I've felt convicted to now study a little bit further. And as I read this out by Athanasius, think about what he's saying, that God, that's the creator of the universe, who creates human life, somehow the creator became the created being. And it's hard to wrap our head around. But the reason why I'm sharing this one today is because it kind of blew my mind and it twisted my mind, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I've just been chewing on it ever since. And so I thought, well, you know what? That's kind of good, right? Shouldn't we all think like that and be in awe of the incredible God that we are worshiping? I don't want a God that I can box in and understand completely. I want a God that blows my mind. And I think Athanasius does a really good job at that. For us to think about this Advent today, on the 2nd of December, the Incarnation of Christ. The Word was not hedged in by his body, nor did his presence in the body prevent his being present elsewhere as well. When he moved his body, he did not cease also to direct the universe by his mind and his might. No. The marvelous truth is that being the Word, so far from being himself contained by anything, he actually contained all things himself. In creation, he is present everywhere, yet is distinct in being from it, ordering, directing, giving life to all, containing all, yet it is he himself, the uncontained, existing solely in his Father. As with the whole, so also it is with the part, existing in a human body to which he himself gives life. He is still source of life to all the universe, present in every part of it, yet outside the whole. And he is revealed both through the works of his body and through his activity in the world. It is indeed the function of soul to behold things that are outside the body, but it cannot energize or move them. A man cannot transport things from one place to another, for instance, merely by thinking about them, nor can you or I move the sun and the stars just by sitting at home and looking at them. With the Word of God in his human nature, however, it was otherwise. His body was for him not a limitation, but an instrument, so that he was both in it and in all things and outside all things, resting in the Father alone. At one and the same time, this is the wonder, as man, he was living a human life, and as the Word, he was sustaining the life of the universe. And as Son, he was in constant union with the Father. Not even his birth from a virgin, therefore, changed him in any way, nor was he defiled by being in the body. Rather, he sanctified the body by being in it. For his being in everything does not mean that he shares the nature of everything, only that he gives all things their being and sustains them in it. Just as the sun is not defiled by the contact of its rays with earthly objects, but rather enlightens and purifies them, so he who made the sun is not defiled by being made known in a body, but rather the body is cleansed and quickened by his indwelling. Who did no sin, nor was guilt found in his mouth. He formed his own body from the virgin, and that is no small proof of his Godhead, since he who made that was the maker of all else. And would not anyone infer from the fact of that body being begotten of a virgin only, without human father, that he who appeared in it was also the maker and Lord of all beside? I totally get it. If you need to hit pause, go back and re-listen to what I just said. I had to reread it a few times. But what Athanasius is getting us to think about here is that Jesus Christ is God and yet was fully man. The Creator came and was created, yet still sustained all of life and all of creation, even while he was a tiny embryo in the womb. Can you even start to wrap your head around that? I cannot. It is incredible to think about. How? How did this happen? And it is too wondrous and also completely worth every moment of our time to ponder, think, and worship at the feet of Jesus for all that he has done and the act that he has done in coming in human form from his throne room, coming in human form to redeem us broken people. It is incredible this Christmas, and I am so thankful for the work of people like Athanasius who have made it an important doctrine for us to understand, which is the incarnation of Christ. There is so much humility in what we just read about Jesus, that he would send himself to be in the creation that he created. Tomorrow, we will explore a little bit more the humility that is in Jesus' sacrifice and what the incarnation means for us. And I've got Augustine to come and take us on that journey. As always, for the sources and any more information you want to find out about Athanasius, head to the episode notes and I will link everything I've talked about today right there. Make sure you share this with your friends and family if you enjoy it. And if you want to find out more about Her Theology, head to hertheology.com or check out Instagram as well.